Good morning. I hope you all doing amazing. And this morning, I try to keep up on my routine of making videos every day for a couple of years to come. And it's been a little challenging moment of being consistent with such a decision that I've made. And practically, I knew I wasn't up to making the videos for the sake of making videos or getting views on the YouTube, because I'm not certainly posting them on YouTube for the moment. But it also a kind of having the intention of keeping up with what I've said to myself that I have to do, and also trying to build that kind of discipline and consistency in my life. It's been quite a hard journey, and especially for the last 3 days or 4 days, I haven't made a video. The reason was that I was, actually, I made some kind of emotional trouble, and not from the personal life, but from mostly news that I received from my family. Unfortunately, I just lost a brother. He was 9 years old. His name is Prince, and then he died. It's I got the news like 3 days ago. It's been a very devastating news for me especially, and I kind of, although I had a kind of interpretation of what death means, but it doesn't stop me from feeling the emotions that accompany such a tragic news. And for that, I couldn't, be able to actually do what I stand myself to do. And although I knew, I made a decision to do what I state myself to do, no matter what happening. But I'm a human being and I have emotion, and so I'm trying to also be human possible. And for that, in the memory of my brother, I will keep doing the best I can to be able to develop discipline and learn everything I have to learn to be able not only make this program successful, but to make this in the memory of him, in his memory, and allow the world to also remember him as someone who has gone earlier, but who would have had an opportunity to grow and to see beautiful things in the world. So that was it. That's such tragic moment for me, and I feel my pain is mostly anger. I could have felt sadness, but in this case I felt anger because it saw some type of thoughts that were arousing in my mind before the situation actually came. So it was something like I kind of knew that something like that could have happened, because living far away from family, it suggests you, puts you in kind of a situation like this where you have no option, you have no possibility, in my own personal case, to do anything about it. And I really feel really powerless, not being able to do anything, or not being able to have the power to do something about it. Even I cannot obviously I cannot obviously give him life back as he's dead, but the prediction of things of such degree to be able to happen, and I knew it, not especially for his case, but such things will happen, and I cannot have the possibility to go back and see my family and be with them. It's such a devastating emotion for me, and I could have been able to do something about it. I could do something, I don't know, but yeah, it is what it is. And I feel anger with myself because I kind of knew a little bit about what could have happened if I was as I'm outside of country and not with my family. And this noise annoying me. But what can I do about it? Alright, so that's been said, I will today I want to make a video about some really specific things about the memory and the mind. And I think I have made some sort of videos about it before, about procrastination and stop procrastinating. This is a video on my YouTube channel, but now I want to dive deeper into memory, and it is something I wrote about some times ago, but today is more about explaining different part of the memories, the mind, and how that affects us in our daily life. And in the memory of my brother Prince, let's go and do this. All right, so let's get back a little bit closer to this. All right, so today is 29th of September, not September, October, actually October 2024. October 2024. I hope we can see this clearly. All right, so that's the date, and now I'm going to clean up the date right now so we can, start with what we are here to do. Well, when we're talking about the mind, we have different kind of thought and different kind of imagination in our brain about what we think the mind is. And it is interesting actually, because we have different understanding of what the brain is and what the mind is and what everything that allows us to process information and think are. And there is no a unique way and a justified way to think about the mind and the brain. What I think it is most important and amazing is how we can understand this and use them into our advantage in learning and also understanding our own behaviors. And into that, first I want to make a disclaimer, which is I'm not a I'm not a neuroscientist, doctor, or a student of that field, but I'm really interested in looking at myself and watching other people and finding these similarities in the way we act and the way we think, and which can describe my own explanation of what is the mind and how the mind works, and how we can actually use that explanation of the mind to actually make an amazing usage of it, and to to learn things and to do amazing things with our lives. And also I want to also accredit a kind of course I'm actually watching on Coursera, which is a platform, an edtech platform on which you can learn amazing stuff for free. And that is what I'm doing now on Coursera. It is a course called Learning to Learn. It is a course called Learning How to Learn. It is amazing actually, and I feel more confident making this video, especially because that is something I thought about before, and starting learning about this course actually made it more confirming about what I was actually thinking about without even having made any research about it. So it was like, okay, let me just go dive into it so that we can see how it works. Now let's talk about the mind. Mind is one of the most important organ in our whole system of human being, as human being. And we might think about mind and as a part of our brain, our head. There is the mind somewhere here, and we all feel it, but we don't actually know how it looks. And we do have some picture of it, but we cannot see it in our own head actually working or functioning in a very automatic or practical way. So that is something I want to use some basics, notions and analogy to explain, so that we can have a better understanding and a better view of the mind. So let's first start with what we all know as basics components of the mind, which is, we call them the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Now I'm gonna use some kind of drawing to describe these things, so that we can actually make a mental figure of what I'm trying to explain and portray. Let's assume this is the mind, and I'm not a good drawer. Actually, I started drawing back then, but I lost my ability due to lack of practicing. So don't laugh at how I draw the mind, and don't take this as the literary drawing of the mind. This look like a head, but it's not a head, it is just a mind. So let's assume this is the subconscious mind. Actually, I don't. Conscious mind, subconscious, and this is the conscious, right? So, and this is the mind. Right. So you can see my little design of the mind. So don't take it as the actual definition, or actually the image of the mind. Just think about what I'm trying to make you understand, which is we have the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. But in other terms, there are different terms we can use to call what is the conscious mind and what is the subconscious mind. Now, according to psychologists, or not psychologists but neuroscientists, or how do they call them? Yeah, neuroscientists, we have different names and different terms we can use to name the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, these two forms what we call the mind, and the mind is part of the brain. You know, the brain is that organ that we have. The brain is actually an organ in our body, like hand, like legs, that we can actually touch, but we cannot touch the mind. The mind is just a figurative term, part of the brain that allows us to perform certain tasks as thinking, all that. And the brain is the whole system in which we have the mind, in which we can divide into two categories as the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Now there is another part of the brain, or the mind actually, that I don't want to mention here, that is more spirituality, that I don't want to go and dive into here. But having these two is already enough for us to actually make this clear and understandable, so that everyone can use this information at their own good advantage. Now, what is the conscious mind and what is the subconscious mind? Everybody do hear about these terms on everyday basis, but we don't actually know what that means on the practical level, on a day-to-day interaction level. Now, the conscious mind is the part of the brain that interacts with information. When I'm conveying information to the camera right now, any person listening to information will use the conscious mind interacting with the information they're receiving from me, the words, my actions, and my body language, to interpret everything that I'm talking about to understand them. So just think about the conscious mind as that part of the brain, of the mind, that receive information through all the sensory organs that you have in your body, because you have sensory organs: the sight, what you can see. We have also the touch, how you the touch, the smell, and we have actually five. I don't fully remember them because my mind is actually full with a lot of information, and I will also go dive into that to explain the mechanism of all that as well. So we have the conscious mind interacting with the sensory organs that we have in order to understand something that we are in front of, especially in this case the video and the information that I am giving to you. Now watching this video, you are not just watching or listening to my voice, you are also seeing my hair, you are seeing the mic in my hand, you are also looking maybe at this, you are looking back in my on my back, looking at the whiteboard, or even at this clock, or anything else in this video actually. So your mind is not only interacting with my voice, it is also interacting with my look. How do I look? How do I sound? And how do you see me? All these things are going to be examined, constructed in a way that gives you an understanding of what I'm saying to you. And what does that is the conscious mind. The conscious mind is receiving inputs from the physical world and also from the abstract world. That means things that are not physically understandable, but that you can have a sense of, the sense of understanding, for example, and then make a sense of them. That is what your conscious mind do. And for instance, even the noise around me, your mind will I'm sorry. So the noise around me, your mind also can interpret them. Even my move right now, stopping the call that I'm receiving, your mind will make an interpretation of them. What does that is this conscious mind. The conscious mind is receiving information, but at the same time you are making decision about the information that you are receiving, which means you receive information, you process them, you interpret them, and then your subconscious mind make judgments upon all those decisions. And I don't want to go just direct in that, saying that the subconscious make decision, but if, for example, as I'm talking and then I went to my phone as I'm receiving a call that might distract you from this video, and off that call, that can actually distract you and even annoys you. Why that could happen? Well, that's maybe some part of your subconscious mind. There are information up there that tells you that this information that you are receiving from these inputs that you receive from the thing that you are watching, actually me, and the information that I'm conveying, and also how I just acted is not good for you, and that's maybe mean disrespect for you, and then it actually annoys you. But the information in itself is not annoying, or it's not disrespecting, but your interpretation of it will be that. But your interpretation of that information is based on what you already have into this category, the subconscious mind. In your subconscious mind, there are information stuck there, right? There are information stuck there. We talked about earlier that in the conscious mind we have interaction with the outside world. That is what is happening directly around us. And let's assume that you are walking, right? Walking is a conscious action. You are walking and you decide how to put your leg, or even I'm talking, the words I'm using, those are also part of conscious action and conscious activities. But it just goes to the point that you don't think about them anymore. It just comes into automatically, which means they are already in your in your subconscious mind, and then you just do them automatically. Because if you have to work, and every time you have to work, you have to think about each step you have to make, then you might not function as a normal human being. You might be very slow because you have to think about each move each time before you make them, and that will not make you as a normal appearing human being. So the reason why our subconscious is there and stores information to make decision, and that's why I said earlier the subconscious is there to make decision. And the reason for that is because it allows us to make quicker decision, to be a quick human being. And the reason for that is because as human being, our conscious mind receive information, but there is a gap between the full information and the interpretation before we understand those meaning of the information. And that is why the time it takes before making a sense of the information we receive and the actual time we make a decision might appear to be slow. The time it takes for you to get to the end of this video before making a meaning of the full video, it makes you a slow human being. So as I'm talking, you are making definition, you are making deduction, you are making decision, you are making understanding of what I'm saying, even if it's not fully what I'm saying. Because to be able actually to understand everything, you have to wait to the end. But the mind will not work in that way. The mind will actually make understanding actually from each state, from each word, each action that I'm conveying, and from that you will decide if the video is annoying or if the video is compelling to you, and then you might drop out of it and then leave the video before it comes to an end. And the reason is because the subconscious mind is there to help you make quick decision and just become a quicker human being. And then we might just say, okay, if the conscious mind is the first that receive information, how does it come that the subconscious mind make the decision before the conscious mind? And that is because as the conscious mind receive information, it make a quick analysis and then puts the most important information from here to the subconscious mind, and it's stuck there. And we think about the subconscious mind as a whole warehouse that stock a lot of different breadth of information. And in that warehouse we have tons of data that allows us to make quicker decisions. And then oh shit, I'm not feeling that good. I'm little like internally I'm not feeling good, but let's just keep going. So from the information that you receive from here and those one stuck here, it makes you, now let's just stop here.